Welcome to Unresolved, the podcast for customer experience leaders by customer experience leaders. Here, we discuss how different companies view and measure their customer experiences, how they handle churn, and then we dive deeper into the unresolved issues that they're facing today. We're specifically calling this podcast Unresolved because so many CX leaders are testing with AI, they're rebuilding with AI as their foundation, and every one of us have to reinvent everything we've ever known about customer experience systems and processes. You're not alone, so let's do this journey together. Today, we have Shmuel Saklad, the Senior Manager of Enterprise Accounts and B2B Contact Center Operations for B&H Photo Video. And for those listening, if you've never visited New York City, then you don't know about B&H's beautiful multi-floor showroom that has the latest and greatest photo, video, and audio equipment. It's a toy store, the comic shop for creatives. And honestly, I wish I had an unlimited budget while I was walking through there. Well, I mean, I'd settle for a $1 million budget, but it'd be great to be able to just walk through there and just take whatever I want off the shelf and be creative with it. Shmuel, welcome to the Unresolved.
Hey, thank you, Brett. It's really a pleasure to be here. Yeah, it's love going to the store whenever I get a chance as well. Like you literally just walk around, you feel like a kid in a candy shop or a toy store, and you just wanna be able to play with everything, touch everything. Like that's kind of like also like how the store is designed, where everything is accessible to the customer. Whereas like general like big box retailers, it's everything's behind the counter, everything's in boxes. You may have a floor model, maybe not. Everything in our store is designed that you should be able to touch, feel, experience it, and what it feels like for you as the user.
Love that. And also, like, another thing that blew me away walking into the store is whenever you buy something, you don't take it, you don't load up a
Oh
shopping
yeah.
cart. That's not a thing. You tell somebody what you want, and then it actually, like, the order goes through
Hmm.
different way, like, and then you just say, "Here's my order," and you could have gone
Yeah.
all throughout this multi-floor store and say, like, these are all the different things that I want, and
Yep.
then you get there and it all comes in, whoop, dropped right
Yeah.
down right as you're checking out.
Yeah, it's exactly right. Exactly. Like when you're walking around a store and you have to carry your stuff, you're pushing a cart. It's like uncomfortable. So we're really all about that user experience of we want you just to focus on product, and that's what you're here for, and let us take care of everything else.
Yeah. So I've only experienced B&H as a consumer,
Yeah.
B2C, and you've been on the B2B side, the enterprise B2B side for quite some time. You're actually coming up on your 12-year
Yeah.
anniversary, which is such an accomplishment.
Yeah, yeah, thank you. It's wild that it's been 12 years, and I started as a agent on the phone, right, working the queue, answering the calls, working the emails, interacting with our B2B customers. And I had that contact center journey, working my way through and working up to team leader, manager, and now senior manager. So just a little frame of reference of how we look. Um, we're an inbound B2B contact center. So customers are emailing or calling us with whatever they need. So that's, we're really helping them through their entire life cycle of the transaction journey. So whether that is pre-order, they need information, they're looking to make a quote, before their order, they need to, make the actual purchase, and obviously post order, status, customer service, really, you name it, I might have seen it in 12 years. So we're kind of like a mix between sales and support because we do both of it. So it's kind of also a little bit unique where a lot of companies might have a sales team, they may have a support team,
Mm,
customer service. So we're really all of it, all of the above. So I work with the government and education clients. So,
okay.
local, state, federal government, K-12, higher ed, mostly domestic, but we definitely we work international as well. And what's also fascinating is the range of customer and interactions that you may have. I may be working with a broadcast operator for getting ready for college football season, right? Like I got to get my cameras, I need my equipment, I need all of this. Like, what do you have in stock? What are the pricing? And let's say something happens in the shipment. What are you going to do? How are you going to help me? And then the next call will be a 5-person local township that needs a single computer to support their office, you know?
Yeah,
So it's a really like you got to know your customer, but all customers matter and they're all important to us, and
of
we
course.
serve them just the same, no matter who they are.
Are you handling like account management? Is let's just say that high school that you were talking about, does that become an account that let's just say you manage, or it's only whenever they're inbound? You're only handling inbound. You're not saying, "Hey, last year you did this. Do you need another one?" Kind of a thing.
Right. Yeah, yeah, so it's a good point. Yeah, we're only inbound. We do have there is another part of the company that does that outbound, reach of following up, going to visit, meeting them at shows and all that. But we're fully just supporting the inbound work. Um, but what's interesting is we definitely have customers that call us every single day where you really do get to know them on an individual basis. But then, yeah, then there's ones, yeah, that call us once a year. Maybe their yearly purchase or their quarterly purchase. So we are split up that each team has a set of customers, but it's a pretty large set.
Yeah.
Um, so I have 4 teams that I oversee. They're each run by an account manager, and they each have somewhere eight and 9 people on the team besides the manager. So it's a decent sized operation.
So thinking about you're taking phone calls, you're taking emails. Are you doing like a chat? Like, what's the tech stack look like?
Yeah. So we use Salesforce for email communication with customers. In consumer, we do have chat, but in B2B, we don't have chat. We use Genesis for our telephony, and we have a homegrown transactional system that we do a lot of our transactional work.
How are you getting feedback back to the product team?
So we use survey. We have a survey platform that we use where we send out surveys to customers. So that's definitely our main area where we get the feedback from. But as you know, the feedback lives everywhere, and
Yeah,
it lives in all of your calls, all of your emails. It's everywhere, and I think that's the challenge today for everybody is how do you connect that data to say where a customer may speak to one department, and then they may end up in a different department, and those 2 people may not know that customer spoke to 2 areas, but our system does. And
yeah,
it's how do you now connect those data points so that you don't have those examples where a customer's like, I have now told my story 5 times. I had enough.
yeah.
Today, nowadays, like that, we got to do better than that. Um, and I think that's like, I know I'll probably get more into that, but that's definitely, I think, the challenge today of making that happen. There's a whole team that goes through all of our surveys. They tag them, categorize them. We get monthly and quarterly, reports based on that feedback. Um, so that's, yeah, just some of those inner workings.
that- That's awesome. So, okay, what does a good customer experience look like in your world, and how close are you to achieving that good customer experience?
So for to me, good looks like a team that knows exactly what they need to do every single day, right? And think about what makes a great sports team, right? Like who's it's not the talent alone. Like we've seen, we've all seen teams that had the number 1 draft pick, the number 2, 3 draft picks. They were terrible, right? Like what makes that Super Bowl worthy team? It's the ones that know exactly what the plays are. They know where they need to be, when they need to be there. They know when to move up, when to move back. They've practiced. They've taken the coaching. They've the feedback, and they've operationalized that feedback. Um, that's what good customer experience looks like, because you have clear expectations, clear roles, honest feedback when it is and especially when it's not working, and a culture that's trying to get better every day. So you take
Yeah,
all of that, that translates to your customer walking out the door with that feeling of, wow, they got me. They understood what I needed to do, and they helped me get over that finish line. We, as consumers, all know the companies that we interact with that we dread calling, chatting with, and we have the ones that you think of them and you get like that. Oh, what a great company!
yeah.
And that the goal is to get to that feeling. And in order to do that, your operations got to be a tight ship.
definitely. And so that is a hard thing to do, and you can't do it with AI, that's for sure.
Yeah. So
And
yeah, to your point of how close are we? Some days we crush it and we score
yeah,
the touchdown, and some days we fumble.
sure.
Um, the honest gap I'll say for me is between knowing and doing. Like you can know what good looks like, but it's doing good every single day and making sure that the doing and the knowledge survives those hard days.
That's great. I love that it survives the hard days. It's like,
Of
okay, today was
course.
rough, or this week is rough, or it's Black Friday, or
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even imagine what that looks like for you all, especially if you have B&H coupons going on or anything like that,
Yeah.
or even right before school, especially right before
Huge.
school.
Yeah. Very
It's like,
busy.
hey, I need this by August 1st. Well, it's July 31st. You couldn't have
Yeah.
waited to the last second.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh,
yeah. Well, that's the job, right? We're there to jump in and no
yeah.
problem. Let me take the stress, let me worry about it, and we will make sure you get what you need.
So you were talking about surveys.
Yeah.
You're relying on surveys for customer feedback. So, like, what are these surveys telling you?
So surveys I'll say are definitely important, right? It gives you, especially, and it's nice when you look at the surveys and you get the positive comments. And it's not just about the comments, it's about, we make it a point to share them, especially when customer calls out an employee by name and it's
Yeah,
like, "Hey, I spoke to Brett. He was amazing. He took care of me. He knew what I needed. He got it done for me." And like that's just so nice because I think recognition is one of the most underused tools that leaders have, and it's free, right? It doesn't cost you anything to say something to someone. Um, but we also obviously get the constructive feedback, the missed handoffs, the response that took too long, the policies that didn't age well, and we definitely take it seriously. And I think that's one of the challenges of surveys is that they're great in that they give you signals and they give you feedback, but they are not everything. Right? There's such a large percentage of customers that don't give you that feedback.
yeah,
Um, and what are you doing for those customers? They're most at risk because
yeah.
you just don't know. No, they just may buy less the next time. I think one of the
Right.
worst lines I've heard from a customer was, "I only come to you when I have to." And that like hurts. It's like a punch to the gut, right? But for the person on the other end of the line, this may be the most emotionally complicated tasking challenge that they have today. And
Yeah.
our goal is to make them feel like they were the most important customer today or the only customer today.
So
And
good.
yeah,
Yeah.
how do you operationalize that feeling is it's such a challenge, right? Because it's so easy to get stuck in the, oh, I'm just, another call, right? In the context, and it's just what it is. But we have to find those ways and those moments to, stop, reset, take a moment, um, and just think about who's on the other line. It's a human, at least for now, right? We're not talking to AI agents yet, but it's a person, and we're here to support them.
Yeah.
And especially as we think about how we move forward of in the larger industry of AI taking a lot of this easier work, what's left is the emotionally complex, the things that use your brain, the emotionally challenging issues that a customer may call you for. And when you had that password reset, it gave you your brain that, oh, okay, I got to reset, right? Like those were your moments where you took for yourself. And now I don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
And as a leader, what am I doing to support my people, um, so that they don't burn out from that and that they are getting their breaks and their emotional recharges? And it changes how we look at our operations, right? Like how many breaks am I going to give during the day? I now may need to change my schedules. I may need to think about what metrics I'm looking at. Handle time is going to go up, right? Like just because a customer was emotionally challenged doesn't mean it was an upset customer. It may just, the sentiment may have been something difficult. They may be dealing with, life changing diagnosis or, a car accident, things that are really just difficult. And
Yeah.
we have to think about the larger picture of, yes, AI is changing the work, but the change is so much more than that, that I think is getting it's somewhat lost in the larger discussion.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with you. I think that people not in the customer experience world don't understand the shift of it. They just think it's getting easier. I think
Yeah,
so many people that aren't talking to customers think that support's just getting easier because we're just
yeah,
reducing numbers. But to
it's
your
getting
point,
harder. Yeah.
it's not about the numbers, it's about the complexity and the emotionally draining aspect of it. Earlier, you said that you want to collect that positive feedback, which
Mhm.
I loved doing. So something that I did with my team at Frame.io is I would put either the best or the funniest or the most random positive support on a coffee cup, and then
Ooh,
and a memoji on the other side, like their memoji. And so that was something how
I
I
like that.
kind of supported my team. I put like the most random positive support comment, and it's like that was their 5 stars kind of a thing.
I love that.
But so, how do you share with the greater company, or at least within your organization?
So some of the things like I've been doing with my team is I started what we're calling Feel Good Fridays, where we have a like large team chat with everyone in my department, everyone in my division, where I was going through either some feedback I found in an email or from a survey comment. And I would just, shout out individuals that were being tagged. And I was trying to be methodical of like, I wanted everybody to get something. So let me find, pick one person per team each week and I'll find something that they did that was great. It's the small moments that actually matter more. Right, like so we're so good in CX at like, wow, this company went above and beyond and did this amazing thing and flew me across the country so I was able to be at this event, and those are great, but that's the 2% or the
Yeah.
1%. And what are you doing the 99% of the time is I think what's more important and valuable, but yeah, it's less exciting. So I also try to find ways of telling them, hey, you processed this order exactly as they wanted. You got it to them when they needed it. Amazing job, right? Like so it's the regular that I'm trying to elevate and say, this is great. This is perfect. I open up the floor, let's say, for everybody to be able to shout out a coworker that made their week easier.
That's cool.
And so, hey, Brett helped me. He put in some really good notes on this order, and I started with the customer, and then he finished it, or whatever, vice versa, or whatever it is, or in contact centers when lunch schedules get thrown off, and somebody is stuck on a call for an extra 10 minutes, and now my lunch is I'm going to run over, and you saw that the person in front of you waited till the other person was back. It doesn't have to be anything extraordinary, and it
Right.
shouldn't. It's just about how did somebody make your day or week easier?
All right. I have one last question for you.
Yeah,
What's one thing in your CX operation that's still unresolved that you haven't been able to fix yet or discover yet or to move forward with yet?
yeah. I think this is such a fascinating like spin you're putting on it. So for me, is detecting that customer disengagement before it shows up, right, in churn or lost business. It's right, that silent customer, the one whose volume slowly drops, the one who comes to us, so we said, only when they have to. The signals are in the data. It's across the order history, the contact patterns. Instead of contacting us every day, it's now once a week. It's the email volume, and really the question for me, I think many people, is how do you read that signal early enough, reliably enough to actually do something about it? Like, yes, we have surveys, but surveys are a moment in time, and it's post. It's after something happened. It's after the customer was upset, and we now have the opportunity today, or we're getting there, where you can really think about that, or detect it earlier enough, where okay, something's now we're starting to go on that like bumpy road, but we haven't hit that big speed bump yet, so we can jump in and say, oh, by the way, here's a detour. We got it. Um, and so that's, I think, what's to me, like, I'm looking at it as unresolved, is there's so much that you can do now.
The thought about it is, does a product team have it defined as to what this would look like? So somebody, let's just say I'm the fifth time I've purchased something. I don't contact support. So
Yeah.
this is a silent churn potentially.
Yeah.
I've purchased something 5 times. First time, it took me a while. Second time, shorter time. So now you're looking at duration on
Yeah.
checkout or something along those lines. And then third time, same. Fourth time, all of a sudden it took me twice as long and I abandoned checkout.
Hmm.
So it's those kinds of signals that would be ideal to say, like, obviously by the fourth time, shouldn't be abandoning checkout.
Yeah.
And then the question is, like, I wonder if they found it for cheaper somewhere else.
Right.
I wonder if they ran into an issue. Can we replay that?
And I think also now is that you have the opportunity to use like some of these AI tools to model behavior, right? And you can test and test instead of test in production. Where it's like, okay, if we tweak this, what are the likely outcomes of user behavior? And I think that's like an interesting way to think about where we're going. Also, is how else can we use these tools to really help us get that feedback. Every department has their own feedback of the customer's experience, and it's like, okay, returns has theirs, and product has theirs, and logistics has theirs, and it's like we're all we talk about this all the time. We're all speaking to the same customer. And it's like, who owns the customer? Like, we all own the customer, right?
Yeah.
But who owns that feedback element is, I think, important to start thinking about, and how do you collect it all to make it operational.
Thanks so much. That wraps this episode of Unresolved. You can connect with Shmuel on LinkedIn, and that link is in the description. Shmuel, I appreciate you taking the time to speak with me. And again, thank you for sharing your amazing customer experience story with us.
Thank you, Brad. This has really been a pleasure.
Awesome. Cool. Have a great day and a productive week.